Okay, hello again. So, this is a short rant and also an announcement. Um, so, as some of you know, I have been worried, about losing my job because I can't breathe, wearing a mask, and there are other challenges and poor management decisions being made at work. Most importantly, deciding that the migrators have to also sort all their own work. So we're only getting a third done of what we usually get done. So I guess what will probably happen is they'll just have to fire the whole department when it's not even our fault what's going on. So bad shit's happening at work and I can't breathe while wearing a mask and I don't know if I'll be able to keep my job or not. I don't know. And you know what? I've been so afraid, I've been so worried. And I've been thinking I don't want to be afraid anymore. I don't want to have anything to worry about. I don't want to have anything to be afraid of. And I spent so much time being afraid of losing my job before I got my testicles removed. I spent so much time worrying that I would lose my job and my income and my health insurance and that I wouldn't be able to pay for surgery and that I would have painful testicles the rest of my life, and that was just horrible. Like, months were consumed. I didn't get anything done personally. Like, I was at work, doing my best, but I didn't get my personal stuff done. I didn't get the things that I really wanted to be doing, my programming, my art, stuff like that I wanted to be doing. I couldn't enjoy life because I was so consumed by that. But then I noticed, here I was again. I got past probably the most difficult challenge of my whole life. And I finally got out of testicle pain, had my orchiectomy, and then there I was worried again about losing my job. And it's like, man, some things never change. And you know what? I'm tired of being afraid. I'm tired of worrying. And it's very interesting because there are many things that are hard to do in life. But you know what's harder than getting testicles removed? You know what's harder than working my job? It is controlling my anxiety. It is not worrying. And I was thinking about something, and what is it that I really fear? And there are a lot of bad things happening. There's a lot to be afraid of in this world, with all this COVID-19 stuff and all the crazy stuff that's going to go on. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how many lockdowns are going to happen. I don't know how long the mask mandate's going to go on. I don't know what's happening. Nobody does, and we're all confused and scared in the whole world, not just the US, but all over the world. People don't know what's going on. Nobody knows what to believe. Nobody knows how to plan for the future. This is a hard time to live in. I don't think anybody would ever disagree with that, But I realized something, Of course, I'm aware that any of us could die anytime. Anything could happen. Anyone could lose their job. Anybody could get murdered. Anything could happen to any of us at any time. And then I remembered something. I remembered a story that I wrote. And it was me talking to a unicorn named Honesty. And what's interesting is it's a story I wrote back in 2018. In fact, the latest, the date of the file in my Dropbox account was, the latest backup was December 2018. So I know all of it was written before December 2018. So it's an old story. It's me talking to a unicorn and talking about pretty much all of my greatest struggles in life, all of my deepest emotional problems. It's very personal and it's very sad, and most people probably won't want to read it, But you know what? Tonight, after I got off work, I went ahead and I published the first part. There's 2 parts written. There was part 1 that I just posted on my WordPress blog, chastitywhiterose.wordpress.com, and I posted that link to that blog page on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So I don't know if anybody will read it. I don't know if anyone will care, and I don't even really care at this point. But you know what? While I'm still here and I'm still alive, I want my story to be told. I don't want to not say things. I don't want to have to hide anything. I don't want to live in a world where we all have to be afraid of what we say. That if we say the wrong thing, our videos will be deleted off of YouTube, which has happened to me, or that the government will come and murder us if we say something that's against what they want us to say politically. Political correctness. And freedom of speech is important. There are 2 things that I think are top most important is people have to be able to have the right to say what they want to say. And it's like people need to be able to say how they really feel. People need to be able to say the truth without fear of punishment, without fear of losing their job or losing their life if they say the wrong thing. You know what? I mean, this is scary times we're living in, and it's also important for people to have a right to their own body, what enters their body or not. People should not have to take a vaccine if they don't want to, just as they should not be forced to eat meat or dairy if they don't want to, or if they don't want to have a penis enter their body if they don't want to. You know what I mean? People need to have a right to decide what happens to their body. That should be a basic fact. And so, seriously, we live in a time where people are talking about mandating vaccines and already mandating masks and basically suffocating people like me. And I've had it. I'm mad. I'm sick of this shit. I'm really sick of all this bullshit that that's being forced on us, and the stuff we're being told by the media, and it's just ridiculous. We live in stupid times. And this is true because people are stupid. Humans are just stupid. The majority of them are pretty stupid. And the supposed leaders of our country, these politicians or court judges or whatever, whatever your government's like, they're no smarter than any of us. You know what I mean? And what this comes down to is that humanity is doomed, okay? Humanity is doomed. We're a failed species. There's no denying that, and that's one opinion I have that hasn't changed. But you know what? Things are bad. Life is scary, but let's make the best of it. And so while I'm still here and while I'm still alive, I want to be as truthful as I can be. And it's not just about telling the truth. It's about not withholding the truth that I'm afraid to say. There are still things that I've been afraid of. I didn't publish my unicorn story previously because it is very personal. I wasn't sure if I wanted people to know everything about me. Or about friends. I changed the names of certain people in it that I know. But somebody might figure out who they are, and I didn't want to violate anyone's privacy. But you know what? After a while, I'm just like, you know what? I'm alive, and while I'm alive is a chance for me to let others read the story I wrote. So I went ahead and I published the first part of it. I think in a little while I may maybe after a month or so, I may just publish part 2 after people have had a chance to read part 1. So that's just a decision I made as I decided, you know what, I was planning on publishing it just before I die so that I wouldn't have to read the comments people left. But I don't know when I'm going to die, so it's like, whatever. I'm just going to publish it. So people can love it or they can hate it. I don't care, you know. Think what you want. But, you know, that's just life, you know, as bad things happen, there's things to be afraid of, and I don't want to be afraid anymore. I want to live my life. I want to the best of my ability, I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to say what I want. And if people don't like it, sure, they'll censor my content or they'll kill me if I don't do what they want. Or I'll lose my job. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm tired of pleasing people. Because when I do die, I want to make sure I have no regrets. You know what I mean? Because the only thing worse than death is to die and remember there's something that you left undone that you didn't do because you were too afraid. That's the worst feeling ever. That's worse than death, is to leave something undone, to not say that thing that you wanted to say, to publish that story that you wrote because you were afraid of what people would think, to be who you were and to say how you feel, because if you're not being real, you're not anything. To be fake is worse than death. And I see it that way. And you know what? Nobody's going to tell me what I can or cannot say. People just aren't going to do that, you know? And so whatever happens, happens. It's out of my control, but I'm just me. I'm just real. I'm the same person I always was, except better. I've learned more. I don't know whether I'm going to have a job or a home or my life. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'll tell you what I do have. Self-respect. I like who I am. I like the things I've done, and I like the things that I'm going to do as long as I live. I have many things to be happy about. I have more things to be happy about than sad about. My life is actually pretty good right now. So that's good news. And I hope that, I hope things continue to be good for me and everyone else. And I hope that the things that I fear do not come to pass. But more importantly, even if things do come to pass exactly as I fear, my fear is not going to stop it from happening. What happens, happens, and I have to deal with it, whatever that is. And so do you.